And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. We're on to the divisional round of the playoffs. We've got a full breakdown of Wild Card Weekend and some dynasty takes on those who were eliminated. After that, we're going to look ahead to the divisional matchups before we get into a very special segment, Best of 2021 Bookmarks. Welcome to Terrestrial Takes. So, if you're watching at IDP Twitters or YouTube, we're streaming everywhere. We are new to the IDP Army, to the semi-pro fantasy, the team. I am your host, Duchesnes, at Duchesnes _, joined as always by my boy Nubs here, at Double N Double B. We are not a strictly IDP show. We do talk some IDP, but we're not a strictly fantasy show either. We kind of just talk about what we want. I guess more news and just talking about football. And at the end of the day, we have fun here. And we have a live show. So we're getting used to that. But hope you don't mind us. Thank you for listening. And Tim, how you doing?
Doing well. It's been a busy week with end of year, trying to get the books covered at work. But it's been good. It's really nice to be wanted when it comes to being like, hey, I need you for this, I need you for this, I need you for this. So I'm actually going to be doing some work after this. But yeah, it's been a good end of the year. I'll say that.
Well, that's good. So yeah, we are the crew, and we're here to talk to you. So let me just start off with the first ad read here. Be sure to join our Patreon at patreon.com/the IDP Army for tiered dynasty rankings, the ultimate IDP index, tiered best ball rankings, VIP Q&A, and become a better fantasy football player today. There's also a Discord, IDP Army Discord, sort of the mod in there, kind of a big deal now. So you can get in on that if you become a member of the Patreon. And if you were wondering, does the Patreon support us? It does. It's sort of like a Ponzi scheme, a pyramid scheme, and we're part of it, baby. So, yeah, the more the Patreon gets, the more that we see kickback of. But at the end of the day, we're here to give you advice and to vent. So let us start venting with the recap of Wild Card Weekend, Super Wild Card Weekend. And I want to get my first point out of the way. I don't think expanded playoffs is necessarily a good thing. We saw a lot of crap games. I also wish that they probably kept 2 bye weeks if they did and just add 2 more teams instead of 7, make it 8. But then you have half the league makes the playoffs. It's like, I know it's good for revenue, good for us. It's theoretically good for the fans, but in my opinion, I didn't even watch last night after halftime. I went to bed. I didn't watch the Steelers-Chiefs game. I was all tuckered out. But first game we had on Saturday was the Raiders and the Bengals. I took the Raiders to win this game, and I was getting some flack. Because the Bengals were out early, and I was like, no. Raiders got them right where they want them. They're down 10 in the fourth quarter. This is where the Raiders make their living. And sure enough, they started to come back, but in Raiders fashion, Derek Carr throws an interception to end the game. And the Bengals win their first playoff game since text messaging was created, since 1991. So what takes you got on this game?
Well, Derek Carr throws an interception with a ball that never even reaches the end zone.
Yeah, there was play art for that, and you see the 2 best receivers, Renfrow and Waller, don't make it to the end zone, at least by the time it was thrown. Waller's running a wheel out, and then Hunter Renfrow's running his 8-move zigzag on the left side, and he was locked in on Zay Jones. And that entire game, I was losing my mind because Derek Carr throw the ball, just go into a progression, 1, 2, 3. Throw the ball. He wouldn't throw the ball all game. He held it, ran around, going crazy, playing backyard football. And then the play of the game, he goes, no, we're running this one. And he throws it to Zay effing Jones.
Trust the process.
Yeah, now
the system.
Yeah.
Even after the first drive where he fumbled, I think you would have learned something by that. I'll say this. One thing, I just want to go back about this whole expanded playoff. I have an idea how to make it better.
What do you got?
We have our normal 6 teams from each conference. And then let's let the rest of the remaining league get in based on their record. And what you could do is you could have the team with the number 1 overall seed based on record, which I don't know if I think the Titans and Packers have the same record, so it might not work in this situation
Packers have the best record.
Unless there were tiebreakers. So then you'll put the lower ranked of the remaining teams kind of that way and back and forth. Because then we would have gotten the Chargers in the playoffs and we might have gotten a better game. It could have been Chargers Buccaneers. And who's not watching?
So you're saying to just get rid of
Buccaneers
conferences in the playoffs?
No, just for the last two spots.
That's interesting. I'm not behind it, but I like where your head's at.
I'm just talking about for the viewing audience because I watched those games like you did, and you were sick and tired, and I'm like, how am I not seeing Justin Herbert, the god, just smash this ball over the field? Oh no, he's at home.
Yeah, because analytics. Staley was right. I'm not an analytics hater. I just hate people that use analytics because that's all they use, and they're right. They're all knowing. But that's a whole other argument. So what do we think about the Raiders? We're going to talk about the eliminated teams. Is Carr gone? Is he out of Las Vegas?
I don't think he is. I really don't. They fired the GM. I don't know if the coach stays. Usually that's not a good sign if the GM's gone. Yeah. But who and what are they going to replace him with?
The coach? The coach? Or Carr?
They're going to replace Carr with?
Russell Wilson is the talk, isn't it?
Oh, you will know more about that rumor than I do. So
I've heard Russ. There's talks of Rodgers bringing Deonte with him. I don't know. I think they could get a decent pick if they trade him.
Deonte could even go there to play with Carr, who he played with at Fresno.
Oh, that's right.
So that's where also that something
comes from. I feel like they should move on from Carr. I don't even know what his contract is actually, but I feel like they need to inject some new blood in there. And I like Derek Carr, and I think he's a decent quarterback. He's one of those, we were talking about in one of our chats, he's one of those quarterbacks that if you're not winning, it's not because of Carr. Carr is a good enough quarterback that you could win a Super Bowl with him. He's not going to carry you, but it doesn't all stop and start with Derek Carr. And I guess a big thing that might be hindering him is the receiving core. Hunter Renfrow is adorable and all, but he's not a one. And Waller's good. Waller's really good, but you need a one. I'm sorry. Brian Edwards TO ain't it.
Is Waller showing age?
He's old.
But he just doesn't have the wear and tear. It's difficult because
not from playing, but drugs could do some wear and tear on you.
Yep.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have much on that.
He was on this pedestal, going into the season, basically the whole offseason, and now it's just completely questionable where you want to place him.
He's 6 or 7, I think, as far as tight ends. He went from people's 1 to around there. It gets a little cloggy for tight ends there. Man, Josh Jacobs, I think I just want him to be good in fantasy so people stop hating him so much because he's a good running back. He's not a top 5 running back. He's around the 10 range. He's a above average running back, but people hate him because he was drafted in the first round and he doesn't deliver, top 5 seasons in fantasy.
My opinion on him is that I just feel like he never ever maximizes his opportunity.
And it's hard to when they get flags on every time he breaks out a run or a pass, like a catch.
Yeah, they do need to improve that offensive line.
Josh Jacobs up the middle for 20 yards holding. Catches a pass, runs a 35 up the sideline, blocking the back. It's just a classic Raiders thing. They have a magnet for flags on them. But anything else with the Raiders?
No, that's all I got to cover.
Yeah, and then we got the Patriots winning me a lot of money. I did not expect that. I wonder what the Bills minus 29 line was, that alternate line, because I got him at -4 and I won a good amount of money. I was not expecting such an ass beating, a perfect game that everyone's been made sure to tell everybody. Why don't you take it? You had a good point about the Patriots.
Well, I want to know where they go with their running backs, because that situation is super cloudy. Now, I believe that Harris is good enough to be a bell cow for a team, but I don't think that that'll ever be the case, because you've seen enough out of Stevenson where he's got to get touches. And I'm wondering if they ever bring JJ Taylor up to get more consistent receiving touches. I doubt it, but there's an opportunity that happens. As well as, Bill likes to bring in really cheap, either undrafted free agents
everything,
or late round running backs, and he could just keep adding to the carousel. So
I could see JJ Taylor getting work. Usually that role of the James White, who's the guy before James White? I'm blanking. But it usually takes 2 to 3 years for them to start making that move as the receiving back. I can't think of the other one. Whatever. But yeah, so I can see him finally getting some work, but I think it's time to sell Damian Harris if you can sell him high after following all these touchdowns. I think Damian Harris is a decent running back as well, but it's just like I don't know if he gets the work. Just like I could see Ramondre Stevenson taking over more of the role. We got Crawny Bones Jones, my boy Cron. Pat should have kept Michelle. Yeah, people hated Michelle too, and you can see what he does when you give him the work. Like Michelle will get you at least what he should. It was about breaking the big ones that he had a hard time doing. But Michelle is a perfectly fine back. It's another classic case of people hating a player because he got drafted in the first round. Now, the biggest crime was that they took him over Nick Chubb. That's hard to forgive. They need some receivers, though. Jacoby Myers is a restricted free agent. I think they might put a tender on him. I think they gave out an offer to that Wilkerson kid. I think it's time that they'll probably let N'Keal Harry go finally this offseason. Dead weight. I mean, it's Boston radio, so they get a little dramatic, but they're like, yeah, they get rid of Johnny. Oh, we are going to talk Johnny later, too. Let me. He shows up in the bookmarks, baby.
Oh, the shed. The shed, as you called him all off season.
He is a shed. He has about as much football IQ as a shed, too. Like, once you get the ball in his hands, he's a beast, but he doesn't know what the hell to do until that point.
It's fair.
That team, though, they need – what do they need? Crawny Bones Jones, put it in chat. You know it. They need a linebacker on that team. They need a linebacker bad. They need speed. I'm glad that they got absolutely demolished, because if it was a close game, they could have rested on their laurels, said, we could compete with. No, they needed to get their doors blown off so that they were embarrassed. So Bill's like, God damn, I need to do something. Because guess what? That team was not good. It was not good. And I know he assembled it as a GM. We all know he's not a good GM. He usually is able to coach himself out of it, but he's coaching with a hand behind his back. At any rate, they need everything, really. I mean, you got a quarterback. Mac Jones is like one of those. If you can't win, it's not because of Mac Jones. He should take some steps forward. But they need to give him more of an O-line. They need to give him some weapons. And I hated how they spent so much money. So what? They could say, yeah, we got him some weapons. Like, dude, you got Nelson Aguilar and you paid him like top 15 money. Like, that was a terrible decision. Now, Kendrick Bourne, welcome surprise. I think you got a player there. He might be a buy if you can get him for like a late second. I might entertain that.
I wonder if Bill makes any sort of attempt to go get Burks. He could be the new N'Keal Harry.
Oh, I will be fading whatever wide receiver they get. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hope that I don't not like any of these wide receivers either. So like, I can't even be like, just get this guy because I don't like him. All right, moving on to Sunday. We had the Eagles getting just stomped by the Buccaneers. I think really it all comes down to, I tweeted this out, that the Eagles have 3 picks in the top 20 now. I think it's 15, 16, 19. And now the smart thing to do would be to build your team Hurts deserves another year. He deserves another shot, I think. But at any rate, you're just going to be building the team to be better to go after another quarterback in 23 when the class is better or there may be more free agents. So I don't think Hurts is a sell. He might be even a buy. I'm in an auction right now. He's actually pretty cheap. Just going to say that. I don't have any Hurts. I might go after him. But DVS. What's the pulse on the DVS? I feel like it's faltered a little bit.
This was also a topic I wanted to discuss because I'm with your sentiment that it is kind of faltering, but I don't think it should be. And I actually think he's a buy right now for that reason.
Exactly.
Because I think there's going to be people that he kind of ended the season quietly. I think there were more opportunities for him to amass bigger games. And I think it's actually kind of a godsend for people that want to buy him that he didn't. And as you were saying about building the team, like I 100% agree. Hurts definitely deserves another year. You're not going to get someone that's going to replace him that's going to be better, most likely. So there's really no barriers to him remaining on the team unless they choose to go a different direction, which I don't think would be the right move because I do agree with you. You don't want to turn into a Miami situation where you've pushed too hard too fast. Just consistently build this roster, and then one day you get to just plop a guy in. Now, if they go after Watson, which I know Watson wants to be in New York, but if they go after Watson, that'll be something I'll support in terms of replacing Hurts. But I am probably the biggest Hurts hater, but I'll even recognize the fact that one, he deserves another shot, and two, there aren't 32 better quarterbacks than him in this league.
Yeah, and as far as fantasy, he's pretty good in fantasy, whether he's good or not, IRL. And then there's Sanders. I think Sanders might be a buy too. You started to see him get the work. Miles Sanders is also a talented running back. He's actually, I will say, a very good running back. And they just refused to give him the ball. And it was absolutely infuriating. And then you add on that Hurts is vulturing all his touchdowns. And he had a lackluster year. And Sanders is another guy we'll get to in our bookmarks. Goddard. I'm not the biggest Goddard guy. I think he's fine. Once you get past like the top 5-6, it's anyone's game, really.
I'd be buying Goddard, but I think where Goddard's at in a lot of places, he's not going to be cheaper than other guys who could probably try to target above him. So it's going to be the preference of the seller, and I think at this point I'd be looking at different sellers.
Yeah. All right, then we get to probably the game of the week. It was the game of the week for me easily because I had a good amount of money. I had 11 units on the 49ers money line. This was the line that I picked back when the Cowboys beat the Patriots. I said, I'm betting against the Cowboys, their first playoff game, because they're going to lose. And reason being, you had all those stupid penalties. They didn't know how to get out of their own way. They didn't know how to get down at the end of that game, slide and give the ball to the ref. Like, it was just perfect. Now, good God, that mysterious Kyle Shanahan has just the aroma of puke and just choke. That guy, no one chokes so harder than that guy than the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I was so scared, and I shouldn't have been. But that man does not know how to win. I swear to God, he does not know how to win. You just need an inch, right? After Deebo Samuel gets that to within an inch, all right? Trust me, I know what an inch is. He runs a QB sneak, and Kyle Shanahan can't help himself. He's so mysterious, dude. He can't help it. He can't just run a QB sneak. He has to get all adorable and move his linemen around. Why? What are you? They know you're running a QB sneak. What the fuck are you doing, Kyle? So you fuck up and you don't get set. And that's also on Jimmy, who has a bit of puke in himself as well. But I am betting the house against Kyle Shanahan because that man cannot win. He tries so hard to win that he gets in his own way. It's insane how much his biggest obstacle is himself.
I was very surprised that Mike McCarthy didn't waste a timeout in this game. Going through this game, Dak was terrible. Okay. Now there was like times in the fourth quarter where he showed heart where he ad-libbed and he's like, I'm going to take this myself. I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. We should have seen that the whole game. But I think one of the reasons we didn't was because that 49ers defense, that front was so good. Now, I'll agree with you too. I was like, 49ers just need to ice this game. Just don't even give the ball back. Like that shouldn't even be something in their mind that they should even be just like thinking about as an option. Oh, sorry. I'm shuddering because McCarthy finally didn't burn a timeout in a random spot in a game. And then it almost felt like a design QB run to get like to the 22 and get a shot. But I'd rather take 2 shots from the 40 than potentially 1 from the 20 because you don't know if there's going to be penalties or whatever. But fuck, to not get a shot at the end zone in a playoff game, no good.
No good. I can't really blame McCarthy for that either. Blame Dak. Like once you got like 15, what's the other 5?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I was happy. But
once again, that should not have ever gone down to that.
Should never have happened. But Kyle Shanahan can't help himself. He cannot do it. He has to go. It's just his ego. He's a fucking. He's psychotic. He is a mental patient. I can't stand that man. I cannot stand him. But thank you for winning me 15 units.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you. I needed it pretty bad after the Raiders, and then I also lost the UFC fight. Giga Chikadze, he looked terrible against Cater.
He was bloodied.
He just looked uninterested, gassed, and outclassed. It was wild to me. He looked amazing until he slipped in the first, and then he just got absolutely pummeled. And I'm surprised he didn't get finished, honestly. But let's get through these other 2 games. Oh, I guess we should talk about the Cowboys dynasty-wise. Dak looks like he's taking a little lull in his value, and I still got him around 7 or 8. You can't sell Zeke right now. You can't get anything worth it, so you got to hold him. But the question is CD right now, because everyone on Twitter, all the analytics people have been dancing on CD's grave, and they've single-handedly, we'll get to KTC later in this, but they've dropped him from like wide receiver 3 to wide receiver 10, which is fine. I mean, I'll use KTC to get me some CD Lamb if you got him at 10. But I'm seeing it's pretty close for people, and I'm seeing some trade offers. Waddle or CD?
That's so tough.
It is. It's so tough.
Because I think I actually was thinking about this on the drive home today, that, and even when it comes to just player scouting a little bit, the paradigm is starting to shift. I think it's shifting way more than just starting to, but like to space players versus just like big athletes. And CD might still be considered a big athlete, even though he's way better in the slot. But I think CD, his overall scope of his game is just better. So I'm going to go with CD. But as someone that I wanted Waddle in Miami because I thought he could play in short, intermediate, and deep. And I don't even think we've seen the deep stuff on a consistent enough basis from Waddle where he's going to open up some more eyes. I can see the reason or the argument for it. But yeah, I'm gonna go CD, but I think it's a lot closer just because of the ability for Waddle to potentially compile on most weeks.
Okay, now what if Miami got Watson?
Okay, I don't like you anymore.
They're
probably nut to butt right there because I don't know who I would pick in that situation.
I lean CD, but just barely. That was just something I thought was interesting. We got 2 games that I just don't really care about, so we'll just get through them. Steelers shouldn't have been in this game because they shouldn't have expanded the playoffs, but they lost to the Chiefs with a whimper. But TJ Watt did some cool stuff. Deonte Johnson is a massive sell. Massive sell. People have him top 8. You look at the top 10 wide receivers from this year, and only one of them sticks out like a sore thumb. And I like Deonte. I was big on him coming in. But he's just not – he's not a wide receiver 1. I'm sorry. You can't rank him as a wide receiver 1. It's too competitive. It's too competitive a position.
And this is why you rotate down. Just continue to get multiple assets, extra picks, whatever, just stay within that tier, or whatever player is not supposed to be in that tier. Stick to another guy that you like in that tier. Just trade down, continue to get assets. Just the way to do it every year when it comes to wide receiver. Just don't trade out of that tier.
Yep. Just makes me think real quick of that auction I'm in. Tyreek Hill is pretty low right now, and Tyreek Hill, haven't done a trade with more trades with a player than Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is always tradable, always has value, and always delivers. And I don't know, I just love it. Like right now, Chase went for 80, and Tyreek's sitting at 55, and I'm like, that's just too good, baby. That's just too good.
I haven't put many bids in, but I'm also in that auction. If you didn't know.
I'm not much of a gamer. I put my cards on the table. I can't keep my mouth shut. I just enjoy the conversation too much.
Hell yeah. But I'm with you because some players I think are actually right now, being it's the first wave of like the first 30 players, because we nominated 2 each to start, and then it just goes snake order for nominations past that. So some guys have been off the board. But I think there's just some boredom and fatigue that kind of drives some players' prices up. But like Tyreek is a guy that most likely you're going to be able to sell for multiple assets after the draft.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to sell him, but the idea would then be to make sure you find that sweet spot price where then you can even gain more assets afterwards. We saw the same idea with CMC last year in one of our startups, or 2 years ago, where someone took him for a certain dollar amount, and then we tracked the dollar amounts afterwards, and it netted like an extra $20 of auction value. So
yeah, if only you could use that auction money later on. But
oh no, it was turned into players though.
Yeah. Okay, last game, Cardinals Rams. Bye Rondale. I'm done.
This was ugly. I don't even know what to do with any of this at all. Like, what? Connor had a good season. Nice. You can't cash out value on that because someone's going to pay you for him. Yeah. I don't really want to acquire him because I don't know what his role is going to be like next year. Hopkins, is he going to come back healthy? He obviously is the key to this offense. And then Max Williams got hurt. He could be somebody worth having some fun with at some point. But if this offense can't get positive yardage in a half, I'm not sure what we're supposed to do with that.
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury could be out soon. Some talk there. I wouldn't hate it. I mean, I saw one tweet that was pretty funny. Like, Cliff Kingsbury is so good that he made Patrick Mahomes a 10th overall pick as Trubisky went 3rd.
Oh, my God. That's really good.
It's pretty good. All right. I got nothing else in that game.
I got to say, my favorite thing about the Trubisky draft is the Bears called the Niners and said, hey, is anyone calling about trading up for Trubisky? If I'm the Niners, my answer every time is absolutely. People have been calling. The phone has not stopped ringing.
Hold on. I got to take this. All right. Let's look ahead. We got a couple games. We got Cincy going to Tennessee as 3.5-point dogs, 47 total. I'll let you take it. You got any leads? You got any bets you'll make on this one?
I'm going with the Bengals. I have a friend that's a Titans fan, and I wanted to bet whoever the matchup was, if it wasn't the Steelers, on the Bengals.
Bengals money line?
I mean, I'll take the 3.5 because it's free.
If you're gonna take it, the points, you should just take it though. That's my belief. It also makes me. I don't know if I said this last week. Teasing. Don't tease points.
Nope.
Don't tease points. You're only teasing because you don't want to bet that side. Like, why are you going to take Tennessee? Why would you take Bengals plus 2.5 when you can just take Tennessee minus 3.5? I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe that didn't even make sense. But
I think these teams actually have very mirrored images of each other, minus the quarterback position. You got talented running backs. Obviously, Henry's better. At peak health, you have 2 really good receivers on each side, plus Boyd, and kind of lacking defenses. But I guess you can see who's going to come out on top. I think Vrabel's been the better coach, obviously, but I think the Bengals can win this game, and I don't think it would be much of a surprise.
I don't either. This is not a game I will have any action on, but I'm rooting for the Bengals, so we'll stick with that. Packers -6. Moving on. I really don't like it because Aaron Rodgers likes to choke, but that's usually next week in the title
Okay,
AFC Championship game.
I'm gonna prepare stuff for next week about Aaron Rodgers not choking because I hate this narrative so much. So,
No,
do you realize that Tom Brady after the age of 40 has had the same number of top 10 defenses in the playoffs that Aaron Rodgers has had his entire career?
how many of these does he have? I mean, I
And
don't care.
in losses, his defense averages like 36 and a half points given up.
Gotta, yeah, well, you gotta win. You're the MVP, baby. Just win. Just win, baby. If you're that good, just
Oh,
win.
this is so annoying. But the 49ers scare me because their pass rush and for
I wonder
whatever
what's up with
reason,
Zigbosa if he's out.
well, and if they have Warner back, as someone that doesn't root for injuries, I want Warner to just, get healthy for the offseason. Just, stay home.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Packers to cover. Rams, Bucks. This one's a little tough, I think.
I think it's odd the team that won earlier in the year versus the team that has the less of their team healthy going into the game is an underdog. So I would go Rams, but I would not be surprised if they come out and Tom Brady just annihilates them because he's Tom Brady. But I'm gonna go Rams.
Yeah, let's go Rams. I don't want another. I don't want to have to see Tom beat fucking Aaron Rodgers at home again next week.
Okay, as long as Kevin King isn't covering Scotty Miller, I think we're okay.
Oh, Scotty Miller.
That draft drove me nuts because I wanted Delvin Cook and they took Kevin King over Delvin Cook after trading back and not taking TJ Watt. But they traded their pick to the Browns, who took Njoku, which is really funny.
The Golden God. I want to see that man move teams. And then we got Kansas City covering the Bills by 14. Let me see if there's an alternate line, actually. Chiefs -7 for 200. I'll take that. 6.5, because I think they win by a touchdown. I mean, I can see them winning by 10, though. Ooh, 250? Ooh. But anyways, we won't get too cute. I'm taking the Chiefs to cover. What do you got?
I think the Chiefs are going to win, but I think the +2 or the -2 is such an awkward number, and I think it's intended that way because it's a non-football number that it gives me pause to not pick the Bills. I'm picking the Chiefs. I'm just saying the inferred number makes no sense.
$50 on this parlay wins $1,000. We got 2 dogs, 2 favorites.
I'll run it with you if you want.
You want to match 50 or match 25?
Either way, whatever you want.
All right, I'll let you know. I can't do it here. I gotta drive 10 minutes up the road to New Hampshire to do it. But yeah, we'll run that. That'd be pretty sweet. So we got Bengals, Packers covering 6, Rams winning, Chiefs covering 2. That is how you can fade Duchesne's this week. That's it. I think we get to the fun, get to the main event.
I'm ready. My body is ready.
All right, well, let us kick it.
It's time for the main event.
So, this week we've got bookmarks, baby. Bad takes from 2021, best of. Now, I took out the names of the recipients or those who curated these takes, because in my bio, you see, we have fun here. All right, so I don't want to harass them. I mean, sometimes I do, but this is why I like to become friendly with people so that then I can shit on them and it's not as bad, because I don't actually want to like beef. I just want to have some fun and say, God damn, you're stupid. I mean, my whole brand is fade me. My whole brand is make fun of me. Like, I don't know. Anyways, Shall we kick it off with a freaking doozy?
Hell yes.
Barring health, Amari Rogers is a lock from a minimum of 65 receptions. All right, so Amari Rogers, if you don't know, because he had 4 catches on 8 targets this year. So, and he played every game. So a lock for a minimum of 65 receptions. Now, I was trying to think. I should have thought. Any other rookies have 65?
Yeah, Waddle did.
Well, I meant like around 65. They had way more.
Oh, I wouldn't know that offhand.
Yeah. Anyways, they were good rookies. Not Amari. So
I think we should. I think we should rate these takes from 0 to -10.
Okay. Well, then let's just. All right. This one isn't a -8. This one's a
-10
-8
because this is obviously a terrible take.
It was always a bad take. It really was.
Always.
I can't argue with the -10. Amari Rogers. So maybe he'll have 65 receptions. Maybe he meant in his career. That he might have meant his career. That's probably what it was, right?
Probably. So if he had an 80% catch rate, he would need 82 targets to hit this number.
Yeah,
with an 80% catch rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. As of now, here's where I stand on the 2021 rookie wide receivers: Deonte Smith, Rashad Bateman, Terrace Marshall, Jalen Waddle, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yes, that's right. We're getting to Jamar Chase here at 6 and Elijah Moore at 7. Dimey Brown, Rondell Moore, Kadarius Toney. This one's a famous one. You've probably all seen it, but it's a funny one. It's always a good one, but you don't have to feel bad, all right? This guy's happily bearded. We're good. Terrace Marshall, though. I know you were high on him, but Terrace Marshall drove me crazy because I didn't get him anywhere, and every time I tried to reach out to get him, every single response was, I think he could be the wide receiver 1 in this class. I'm like, who the fuck is feeding you this? No, you don't. But whatever, I dodged a bullet. I think Cat's got Tim's tongue with that one. He says, move on from Terrace Marshall.
He was my wide receiver 6 in the class, but I liked the potential upside of him being a true alpha.
I think he was like everyone's 6, but 3.
But yeah.
What's worse, you having him at 6 or this brain having Jamar Chase at 6?
Well, the best part is then they're going to claim that they got Amon-Ra correct. But
because of the last month.
But the problem is you have Chase below Amon-Ra. So you lose on Amon-Ra.
You lose. Good day, sir.
What are we rating that one?
Oh, we're rating that one -9.
Okay, I'll go to -9.
You have Tyler Boyd over T. Higgins. Now, I'll give this guy some slack because he made a model, and when he made it, he said Tyler Boyd's his wide receiver 1 in Dynasty. This was during last year or something. Tyler Boyd over T. Higgins, and this means redraft and Dynasty. Nope.
See, I want to penalize it more because that means he just didn't see Chase coming. He or she, sorry, didn't see Chase coming.
It's
but
easier.
I don't want to hate it that much because anything can happen in a season. So I'm going to go -2.
I'm going to go -4, but it's a decent call. You know, you were going for volume over a spike in production,
and Boyd has shown that he can explode in weeks with both of them on the field.
He didn't have a bad season either. There's one that we're going to get to that kind of shows where he was in the where he ended up. Y'all fight. We have another. Y'all fighting over which wide receiver will finish with the most fantasy points on the Bengals and Chase or Higgins? The answer is neither. Save your early picks and draft Boyd far later. He was a wide receiver 1 with Burrow last year before he got injured. In fact, from 2018 to that game, he is a cumulative wide receiver 1. I do believe this is the same person.
I hate this one less.
Really?
Yeah, because usually in many cases the argument is to take the cheaper option.
Yeah,
So-
but this is what happens when you take the cheaper option: is you're the 8th overall team, hoping to draft a good wide receiver instead of just drafting the good wide receiver.
But we're not discussing opportunity costs with
I
the
thought we
opportunity
were.
of who he picked instead of Chase or Higgins in a startup. That's all I'm saying. It could have still been a productive player. I'm just saying I understand the premise of sometimes the cheaper wide receiver is it's usually out of 2 wide receivers, not 3 on a team.
Yeah.
But I can see the premise
Well,
being something that you can defend.
Yeah, take the third one because he's the worst and he's the cheapest. I'm sorry, I just don't agree. This is a -6 for me. I would have rather had the good wide receivers.
I'm going -1 on this one.
Ooh, okay, we got a Boyd truther up in here.
I'm not even a truther.
I'm
I'm just talking
kidding.
about the practice.
It's not even the injury. Joe Burrow was QB 18 last year. He's not likely to run much, and people are concerned about the O-line. Stop drafting him like a redraft QB1.
Okay, I don't like this one. I thought Joe Burrow was going to be a top 12 QB in his rookie season because I thought he was just going to be able to throw, and their defense was just awful.
He was pacing as one, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty
He was
close.
QB 18 and he missed the last month.
So this hurts to even read. I would expect someone to be better suited coming into the season to say, hey, Joe Burrow was QB 18 last season while missing a month.
And had a bad O-line.
Throwing all over the field. Yeah, and we added a receiver that is just God. So, no. -7.
-9. Don't mess with my Burrow. All right.
Nothing will touch the Amari Rodgers tweet. So.
we might get there. Sam Darnold is going to thrive in Carolina. Watch the Panthers draft Jalen Waddle to replace Curtis Samuel. Darnold will get to play under Joe Brady, throwing to CMC, DJ Moore, Anderson, and Waddle. Don't doubt this 23-year-old former top prospect. The time to buy is now.
I really like the way you read that.
Thank you.
But can we actually judge this tweet? They didn't draft Waddle, and if they did, who knows?
When I made this, when I cut this, and when I bookmarked it, Waddle had nothing to do with it.
But who knows the heights that Sam Darnold could have reached with Waddle?
I mean, how deep's the Mariana Trench? Like, good God. And then he had his cute little 4-game stretch, and everyone's like, wow, Sam Darnold's doing something. But all we talk about is regression with players that we don't like Mike Evans. We're not going to talk about Sam Darnold's just
bro. That was all rushing touchdowns.
Touchdown.
They didn't trust him to throw the ball in the red zone. It's insane.
You got to play with
They were
Joe
like,
Brady,
nope,
though.
just tuck your head and just ram forward. Don't throw the football. Don't do it.
Started throwing the football, and he went and signed Cam Newton, who everyone said was throwing paint buckets last year. Am I right?
No, I agree with you. I just never heard the term.
Oh, that was a play on words.
See the mountains? I can throw with this paint bucket over the mountains.
Just laboring to throw the fucking football.
-4.
That's a -7. Wide receivers that Deonte Smith will well outproduce in fantasy football in 2021. Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, Adam Thielen, DJ Moore, Kenny Golladay, Mike Evans. I'm pretty sure it was only Kenny Golladay. I'm not positive about Thielen. This one I put on because it got a lot of hate. I don't mind it. It just sucks that you put Jamar Chase. But the fact is that this is why I wanted to get to Tyler Boyd is Tyler Boyd outscored Deonte Smith this year. So one out of 6 ain't bad though. Am I right?
Well, he really went on a limb with Kenny Golladay.
Yeah, I mean that one's easy. Like, all right, is Jalen Reagor is he gonna outscore him? How about J-Jaw? Oh my God, I just listed 2 other Philly wide receivers. That's insane.
You could have included both of those guys on this list.
Yeah, really went out on a limb. But I don't hate it. It's the take itself is, I think, only a -1, -2. I just thought it was funny that only 1 out of 6 were correct.
Yeah, I don't mind the take. I understand the reasoning and the process, so I'm going to
Yeah.
respect it. Yeah, I'll go -1.
CMC, Barkley, Taylor, Kamara, Dalvin, Henry, Chubb, Swift, Dobbins, Zeke, Aaron Jones, Najee, Mixon, Akers, Gibson, CEH, Carson, Montgomery, Sanders, Jacobs. List of a couple players that I think will have more fantasy points than Eckler than 2021. Who did I miss? How about 1 out of 24, baby? You got one right.
Take it away, douche.
That's a -10. Not because the take is so bad, but how they reacted after when everyone said this take is bad. He went, let's bet on it. And then you bet on it, and he goes, but shut up, dude. This was the -10.
I don't need to say anything.
Yeah, this is a low-hanging fruit, but I'll come back to it and gorge on it at any time.
Actually, I will say one thing. You were 100% right. It was the response
Yes, exactly.
to this original tweet that was the issue.
That was the main issue, was the response.
Because the bets seemingly wanted to be changed to include only certain numbers of players.
Every time you said, yeah, okay, he tried to change it. And don't come back if I'm wrong, if you're not going to come back when I'm right. Motherfucker, I'm not coming back when you're right because you're going to be wrong. All right, -10. Fucking with my chi, dude. I just got out of yoga, had a hell of a session, found my center, but whatever. We have a show to do, content.
Content, baby.
All right, so somebody quote tweeted the Dynasty Nerds. Who's your dark horse for the RB1 this season? Myles Gaskin. All right, Bob.
All right, we found our competition for -10.
Yeah, this was about as bad as it got. I bookmarked this real quick and hope to God it wasn't deleted. If this was a dark horse to be a RB1, yeah, Myles Gaskin's a decent choice. A lot of people might have even thought that. In what world would he ever sniff the RB1? Jonathan Taylor? What Jonathan Taylor just did? Someone's going to do that every year. And is it going to be Myles fucking Gaskin? No, it's not. This was insane. This was -10.
Did Miami play the Colts this year?
I believe so because they played the Patriots and the Bills.
So that's when he would have been able to sniff the RB1 with the embrace after the game.
Yeah. Yes.
It'd be weird though. Don't sniff the RB1. That's weird.
No, I'd sniff Jonathan Taylor. Good God. All right, now we get to Jonnu Smith week on Twitter. Jonnu Smith about to lead the league in touchdowns with the Pats. Am I right?
Is this your tweet?
Not yet. No. Fuck no. Fuck no. I was never on Jonnu. I was the one telling everybody, oh my God, you guys are insane. Because the next week they went out and bought Hunter Henry, and everyone's like, fuck. There goes that. This is a -10. This was a -10 take. Leads the league in touchdowns, dude. Shut up. What are you talking about?
I don't even have anything to say. It's so bad.
It's so bad. But we have one more from Johnny Week. It might not have even been a week. It might have only been a couple days.
I think it was like 2 days.
Yeah, it was like 2 days. Johnny will get a ton of usage in New England. Easy top 5 guy for 2021. Run first offense. Be damned. He got paid, so the team will likely feature him. I'm sorry. He's a highly athletic playmaker. Okay. Just say that. He is. If he can get the goddamn ball in his hands. What can a tight end like that do when he's in the top pass catcher in a weak receiving core? Ask Darren Waller. Oh my God, Darren Waller should sue this man.
Do you know how many follow the money tweets I've ever seen and they've been wrong?
Yeah, why don't you just say this for Nelson Aguilar? Why is Nelson Aguilar a top 5 option?
But like legitimately, you could put Austin Hooper in and reread this and it would read the exact same way.
Yep. It was just a bunch of fanboys that had Jonnu Smith and were like, oh, you got paid. This is it. This is my ticket. This is your ticket to Best of Bookmarks 2021. You idiot.
Didn't even know you were going to be on it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I love that. I love having that.
I love when it's not used on me.
Oh. Hey. Here we go. Oh, this person has some takes. Zach Wilson is the rookie QB1. F1 is not a wide receiver 1. That was correct. Cooper is a wide receiver 1. That was very incorrect. Rondale Moore leads the rookies in targets. That was very wrong. DVP is the Dolphins wide receiver 1. Incorrect. Baker is a top 10 quarterback. Now, what scum, what idiot, what pathetic excuse of an analyst could make these takes?
Bro, do I have to guess?
Right. That's right. Those are my takes. I made the list.
I was like, this sounds like you.
Yeah, these ones, these were bad. These were bad. I got right. The only one I got right was fading a player, calling a shot on a player. Missed every single one.
Heineke cannot be the quarterback of the football team anymore.
Yeah,
he just throws too many balls that are going to injure his players.
But he gave us that week 1 F1 catch on the sidelines. That was cool.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah,
I have to go back and
falling down and caught it like, whatever. So yeah, that's right. We do not discriminate. I put my takes on here as well. Oh, what do we think? What is this?
Oh, fucking -10.
Yeah,
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. All right, this is another doozy. Miles Sanders greater than DeAndre Swift in 2021. Ducks. Yeah, you better stay down.
He might have been a better draft value at the time, but no way.
Yeah.
It just wasn't going to happen.
That's another pathetic excuse of an analyst. Well, anyways, that was my take. Again, I thought I had showed me. Yeah, I said that. I'm sorry. That's another -10. I like Miles Sanders still, but goddamn, DeAndre Swift. He's a bad man. What if I told you at this moment in time I'd prefer Laviska Shenault over Jamar Chase? Seasonal projections separated by literally 3 points.
Bro, where are you finding these -10s at? Laviska was my sell all offseason. I was preaching it. If you can get a first for this guy, sell it. If you can get a second for this guy, sell it. Do whatever you got to do, sell him.
Yeah.
Over Chase. Okay.
You want to know where I find these? These are every single one of these. Yes, every single one of these is a big account. Like, I'm the smallest account of followers out of all of these. Everyone has over 2,000. There were a couple check marks in here, but multiple of these are. This was a 20K follower account. A lot of the other ones were 8 to 10, 15. These are all big accounts too. I wasn't even taking, just random Twitter garbage. I think that was the end. I didn't want to cut and paste. I had more. I had a lot more. But I think my favorite has got to be barring health. Amari Rodgers is a lock for a minimum of 65 receptions.
If this is a tournament, this is our champion who has to come back and defend against next year's takes.
Yes, that is such a good idea. We're gonna do this again next year. After the fantasy year, I'll have my bookmarks going, and we will return the champion to see if the crown was taken, because that's a fantastic idea, Tim.
I just wonder if Amari Rodgers might have had like a fingernail injury all season or something, because it is barring health.
It is barring health, which he had. He was healthy all year. And that's it for our bookmarks. So I guess let's get into it. Let me do this right this time, for God's sake. What is your gripe of the week?
I don't have one this week.
Beautiful. Love it. Not even something silly. That's what this is for.
The silliest thing would be that it's cold in Texas and it's been super windy. And that's literally all I can complain about right now.
All right. Well, aren't you blessed? My gripe of the week has got to be KTC. Keep trade cut. Not because everyone uses it, and I think it's just wrong in general, but because it's just Twitter hype. But my gripe is when you go to it to look at the stupidity, and I'm not trying to shit on KTC, like it's just its place in the community and how it's adhered to. But when you go to the website, I'm sure everyone's dealt with this. You go to it and you're spammed. Keep with 3 players, and guess what you do? I'm sure everyone does it because that's what I do. I pick 3 to get them the fuck out of my way. There is an option to I don't know these players, but KTC has an ad over it. You can't press it. You can't press I don't know these players because there's an ad there. So then I just say, I don't know, keep trade cut. I don't give a fuck who these players are, but I'll fuck up your data. And I'm sure that's what tons of people do because they're not there to play this fuck, marry, kill game. Like that's my gripe of the week. Is
Can we make the fuck, marry, kill NFL website?
yeah, we might as well. Jimmy, Baker, and Mahomes. I'd fuck Jimmy G easy. Marry Mahomes for the money. I'd kill Baker.
I think we've seen like Kyler move up on the FMK ranks this week, and CD Lamb move up as well.
No, CD's moved down. Oh well, it depends. We fucking.
Well, KTC has this. Well, have you seen FMK yet? Jesus.
Yeah. All right. What is your highlight of the week?
Why don't you go first? I gotta think about this.
All right, my highlight of the week is stop, drop, and roll. Great advice told to us when we were young. If you're ever on fire, stop, drop, and roll. And they made sure to, drill it in you like every year or two in school. But I gotta say, for how much it was drilled into me, I would have expected to be on fire way more as an adult. And it hasn't happened, but great advice. Great advice.
Kind of like the tornado drills or like even the South Park duck and cover with the lava.
Yeah. Anything you got?
My buddy, he's moving out on his own. He's found a really nice apartment.
Wow, way to go, buddy.
So there's this it's Frisco Plano area is it's new. Like a lot of places are just completely new because it's just such a growing area. But he's like basically like by the downtown. That's like the new up and coming, very legitimate, upper class downtown, and he's right in the thick of it. And I'm really happy for him. Like this guy.
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
I'm sorry, I had to.
It's all right.
We have fun here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm proud of him. So
that's good. Good. That's a good highlight. You love to see that. That's all we got this week. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on any of the other channels, I'm on Twitter at @Duchesnes_, Twitch at @Duchesnes_. Hit those live notifications so you can watch this shit live. Follow on Twitch if you like games. I play games every couple days throughout the week. And that's about it. You got anything else for the people?
you should just follow him on Twitch so when he goes live, you can go into his Twitch streams and just talk shit because he responds.
That's all right. So just want to thank you guys for listening again, and we will see you next Tuesday.